understand this is your first time at another conference. You began your journey with Wells Fargo back in 2020. And just a year ago, you stepped into the role of the CEO of Home Lending. So can you share a bit about yourself and also your career path prior to leading Wells Fargo Home Lending?
Yeah, thanks, Dinah. And first off, just thank you. This is my first year, and all I can say is, wow. The vibe, yeah. It's like one of those things I feel like I finally got the invitation to the party. This has been fantastic. So thank you. Yeah, so my journey did begin at Wells Fargo 4 years ago. I've actually been kind of doing tours of duty at big banks, and finally landed in a great place, and spent a lot of time in both risk and finance, support functions, but really supporting every single line of business in consumer products. And so, to be able to kind of take all of that and actually use it in this role, it's really quite humbling to think about kind of the storied business of home lending within Wells Fargo, but then just having the opportunity to kind of every day have such an incredible purpose aligned with my job, which is to drive more home ownership and helping people achieve their dreams, and also working with many of you in this room to close some of the gaps that do exist out there today.
And I want to take a moment and congratulate you on your leadership. And I know your colleagues see you as a talented, strong manager that will continue to make a profound impact on the home lending sector, not only within Wells Fargo, but across the industry. So thank you for that. And Christy Furco, under her leadership with Wells Fargo, and I'm going to read it because she said a quote about the importance of home ownership. And let me read it. She said, "Home ownership remains the single largest financial commitment people will ever make in their lives. Yet, minorities is still underserved in that area." So how has the strategy evolved over the past years, and especially under your leadership?
Yeah, thank you for it. So, first off, it's great to follow someone like Christy in this seat. Such a driving force for the industry, participation in MBA and the likes, and so just being able to kind of continue on the progress that's already been built. But we did announce a strategy back in January of 2023, and it was a couple months before I stepped into this seat, which really was, I think of it more as a refocus of our core mission. And so what we announced was really two things. The first was that we want to double down on what our key client segments are. And we announced that being both our bank and our wealth clients, as well as individuals and families in diverse communities, which was really of an extension of a lot of the work that was started before I joined. And the second was around a bit of de-risking and simplification efforts. And I think it was really meant to get back to the core of doing what we want to do very well. And with that came kind of a little bit of a pullback in the correspondent business, so that we focus more on the retail side of things for a period of time, and then just simplification of our servicing portfolio a bit. We had a lot of complexity in that. It drove a lot of costs. And so when we do that, we're able to take a lot of that expense and actually reinvest it in products and in client experiences and consistency in terms of some of those strategies. And so, a lot of that was rooted in kind of, a viewpoint that a lot of things have changed since the last downturn. Regulatory environment, reputation environment, and we had to make some pretty tough decisions, and we saw others make the same, where a lot of market share and size has shifted out of some of the big banks and into the non-banks and independents. which is great from a competitive perspective too. But I think it doesn't really change our mission in that, we still believe it's extraordinarily important, and we still have a responsibility to really lead in driving not only home ownership and helping those customers achieve those dreams, but also in working, reducing some of the gap as well.
Yes. And you also have mentioned before that working with minorities is a significant part of your strategy. So can you explain why this is so important to Wells Fargo?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it really is. It's kind of two simple things in my mind. I mean, the first is just we have a responsibility in the communities that we work in with our clients to really focus on equal opportunity and what that means to us, and that's really core to the culture and the philosophy of the company. But the second is no different than anybody's businesses. You're constantly looking at client trends and customer growth and where the opportunity is coming from and what's happening. And let's just face it, Latinos are killing it. And
we are.
And I think when when we kind of take a step back and even the GDP report, some of the things that we sponsor even in partnership with the groups today, it's amazing to see the opportunity. And the way we think about it is we need to be there for where our clients are, how they're evolving, what their needs are, and that's just the reality of what we see in our customer cohorts and trends.
And I know that the 2024 Wells Fargo report mentions that the only way that the company or a company can become stronger is understanding their client needs, providing access to capital, and forming partnerships that are going to drive real impact. So thank you for that, very inspiring. And so my next question, what are you seeing are the challenges in the current market?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of challenges. No one told me when I started a year ago I was going to be entering the most difficult part of the market. So between interest rates and supply and demand, and I think that's a big part of it right now is just that availability. Some of the highest home prices we've ever seen, reg changes, settlements. It's kind of hitting us from everywhere, and we've really tried to just be aware of those trends and then think about how to be responsive to those for our client segments where it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you for that. And well, you and I just met yesterday, so let me share a little bit about me. I'm owner of Berkshire Hathaway in Dallas, Texas, and I was born in Mexico in a small town named Mante, Tamaulipas. So it is a privilege for me to be here in front of these top real estate professionals. Never crossed my mind to be here on stage with you, and but I had it tough when I started my real estate career back in 2007. It was a struggle finding a good loan officer. And in 2011, one of my clients said, Diana, I'm ready to purchase a home, and here's my pre-quote letter. That letter was signed by Diana Martinez, a loan officer with Wells Fargo.
Oh.
And from there, working with Diana, my career, I took my career to the next level. It was a privilege working with Diana, and that took me to become one of the NARP Top 250. So I have the opportunity, no bragging, but I remember, and it was a Wells Fargo lady serving the chapter, the Dallas chapter, and she calls and I said, can you come to the event? And I remember asking her, is it free? My mindset back then. And she was like, yes, it's free. You're going to be recognized as one of the NARP Top 250. So I was there. And then from there, I was able to meet all the Wells Fargo loan officers like Stephanie Perez, which I'm pretty sure she's here. Yeah, Stephanie, I see you. And I had the opportunity to become a chapter president where I met Brand with Wells Fargo, Maria, and Valeria. So thank you. It's been a wonderful journey and crucial for me to work in my career to work with Wells Fargo. So in your opinion, what do you think is the foundation for a successful real estate professional loan officer relationship? And how is Wells Fargo helping build and maintain those relationships?
Yeah, I think, we look at, the relationships really around a few kind of key foundational principles of just general relationship management. Trust, transparency, and really, open and frequent communication. And I think, when you kind of work on those things as part of that relationship, it kind of can take the walls down and allows for a lot of feedback. And, we speak a lot about that philosophically as, this feedback is a gift and trying to create environments where people feel safe to tell you what you're doing great at so you can double down on those things and what you're not so you can fix them. And I think, we try to kind of manage and really, a first-class way when it comes to integrity, when it comes to, values and ethics in terms of, and I think the one big important thing, especially, today is just a relentless focus on the customer, on the client and their needs. And so, Diane, I know you've been an incredible partner with us on that. And when you find those people, that, have that and share that same connection level, and nurture those relationships, really anything is possible from an opportunity perspective. So thank you for your relationship and your partnership over the years.
Because my business has grown a lot because I'm familiar with the programs. I love the programs, and it's been a pleasure to go working with you. So as we wrap up this conversation, what is one thing you would like our members to remember about Wells Fargo as they head back to work with their clients?
Yeah, I just, first off is, we're open for business. And we're here to partner with you all. We're hiring. We're listening. And, I just want to mention maybe a few things of some of the products and programs and development that we've been focused on. We remain the second largest bank lender to the Hispanic community. We were first, and I'm a little frustrated. I'm working on getting back. I'm a competitive person. So now that I know that we've dropped to second, we've got some work cut out for us, team. But I think, we've done a lot of investment, in a variety of ways. We've certainly done some work with our Dream Plan Home initiative, which helps to offer down payment assistance and closing costs. We've actually taken that a step further and developed and worked on a few special purpose credit programs. Specifically, we said we want to spend $150 million and push this back into product for our diverse communities. What can we do? And what we started to do was we said, well, what if we simply said, we know high rates are a problem. Let's just put some of that work on people that have recently originated with us and reach out and offer just a subsidized refi as a way of saying thank you. Thank you for being great clients to us. And it's funny, we actually had some customers call us and say, is this a real offer? And we've been able to help thousands of customers reduce that rate payment, especially important with inflation and some of the other challenges that a lot of our customers and clients are faced with. And we've gone a little bit further. We've actually, done some work on the purchase side as well. So we've recently launched a special purpose credit program. It's a little bit like Dream Plan Home, but it has its own customized features and capabilities. You can actually stack it with that program and really achieve a lot of subsidies and down payment and in closing costs. And so we're looking to scale that more nationally by the end of the year. And I'd say finally, I'm super excited about this. Some of the transformational work that we did has resulted in our looking at our sales organization differently. And as we focus and align our sales organization around our key client groups, we've placed consumer direct and distributed sales teams against our wealth clients and their specific needs. We've looked to do the same with our bank clients and kind of conforming acquisition play. And we said, we don't really have specialized sales force for diverse communities. So I'm super excited to say we now do. We have a community home mortgage consultant role that we've hired 100 this year already, and placing them in localized communities to help our mission and to drive further growth with many of our Hispanic communities. So we're open for business. We want to talk. We want to do more business with you and start a conversation, and look forward to the continued partnership.
Thank you, Kevin. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.